Welcome to United We Stand. Manchester United are about to play Arsenal, one of the great clubs of English football. And many times in their history they've been greater than Manchester United. My uncle Charlie was growing up in Scotland in the 1930s, living in Stirling. His ambition was to play for Herbert Chapman's Arsenal. Instead, he just made it for Sir Matt Busby's Manchester United. You've been involved in some very notable games between Manchester United and Arsenal. I don't just want to talk to you about the scrap with Winterburn because I'm bored of speaking to you about it. I want to speak to you about different angles of Manchester United and Arsenal. Unai Emery has done a good job since coming in.
Herbert Chapman was responsible for the tube station being called Highbury.
I like stuff like this. I didn't know that. Yeah. And what he insisted it was called.
Yeah, he insisted it was called. I've read a couple of books about him because he was supposed to be the first kind of manager of Huddersfield and Arsenal.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that he won 6 titles in a row, but he didn't. He won 4, not in a row, but he won 4. 2 at Huddersfield and 2 at Arsenal. Yeah, I think Emery, again, very similar to Sarri at Chelsea, has managed to change, managed to inspire 2 big clubs, and both of them in 2 big clubs in London. But I think the foundation for that is with the players that Wenger had left them with, and maybe a different idea, some different person talking to him, maybe a slightly different way of playing has been hugely beneficial for them this year.
I've heard a few Manchester United fans saying if Sarri can come in and if Emery can come in and make such a difference, I'd say they're slightly envious of what they've done there when United seem to still be struggling to find.
The thing, if you're talking about with Manchester United, the thing you remember is that Jose in 1 season, Charity Shield, League Cup and Europa League.
Yep.
So there's the differences at the times depending what it is. Is it practical, pragmatic or attacking? And what's the idea? I mean, Arsenal been a long time since they've been successful, properly successful as I suppose in winning the league. But being very successful in that, apart from maybe 1 season that I can recall, they qualified for the Champions League, and I think that's always been part of their plan. Their plan was to build a stadium that could vastly increase their revenue, make them the wealthiest club in London, and one of the wealthiest clubs in the world also. Which has been hugely successful, and they have to find a way of paying that, and I think that's a lot of the reasons why they went for different players in the transfer market probably up until recently. I think that Aubameyang has been a huge success for them. I know that United are very keen on getting him, and he decided to stay at Dortmund.
Who?
Aubameyang.
Right, sorry, I missed that last bit. I thought we were talking about Emery there. No, I know he is. I saw him play against United. No, I know. I saw him play against United in Beijing. I know in Shanghai a couple of years ago, and he stood out then, and he was very young. And Dortmund have just brought so many good players through. So many.
Good system. That's what they've been relying. They've been relying on for a long time.
And they trust young players.
Really hard at it.
Yeah.
And they've never. You need to be given an opportunity. Managers, coaches need to take a risk.
But they do in Germany.
They do it with.
And they have young managers in Germany.
The same thing.
And
so
Hoffenheim and.
A lot of them have got that kind of view of what they want to do. They're not going to be running around competing, certainly with Premier League clubs and Spanish clubs for players. They believe very much in what they're doing in that growing their own. And they've been hugely successful at it, and along the way they've managed to win a few titles, if you get a few cup finals and be involved in further rounds of the Champions League in this season. They've been pretty dominant so far in the
unbeaten
Bundesliga. You know,
yeah.
They came back from goals down to Bayern Munich to
with an 18-year-old Englishman who's definitely made
the recruitment, the same kind of thing, isn't it?
That's so clever. That
to say, well, look, you know, when I can see part of the recruitment saying you'll play. Loads of managers and loads of guys say you'll play with the idea of just get them in and see what happens. They've got the conviction that they can see a position and he's going to play. I suppose going back to the being brave about the class of '92 opportunities arose, let them have a go, see how they got on, and they've done that. And those players that have gone there have flourished by playing and being encouraged to play, playing in good teams, good players, and in front of amazing crowds.
I met one of Manchester City's class of '92 yesterday. I thought that might be a nice article. The other Manchester class of '92. The one who made it most was Steve Lomas. The rest of them they didn't really make it. What about the current Arsenal team? They come into Old Trafford. Who do you like in that side?
I like the forwards. Yeah, no, I mean it's unfortunate, but I've always been fond of Danny Welbeck because I think that. I'd said that my view for when Danny was, well, around just before he left, I told Danny that I thought he could be a top class midfield player. I think he's got all the attributes to be that type of player. I didn't think that. I think it's been proven that he's an out-and-out goal scorer. I think he's a good player and a good forward, but I could see him really because he's got the physicality and the energy to get from box to box. Can see a pass, brave, decent in the air. I thought that that's how I looked at him. I wasn't in a position to be able to influence any of that. And then the next minute he went. It was very disappointing to lose a player when you look at the amount of money that Danny went for at the time and how much money we spent on it was called for Monaco.
Falcao,
the amount of money we spent on bringing him in and loan and salary and all that kind of thing. Did his very best we see it, but you're looking at a young player and letting him go for that kind of money to me seemed ridiculous, and that it's just unfortunate that they didn't listen to Wenger. Wenger, I believe, wanted to take Danny on loan, which I think would have suited Manchester United to go there and play in the Premier League and come back and hopefully become a star at United, but that wasn't to be. So.
Who else? Because he's obviously had a lot of injuries. Danny, which other finally Arsenal players do you like who could cause problems at Old Trafford?
What's the other forward?
The guy from Dortmund we were just talking about.
He settled in, he couldn't score. The French boy.
Like I said.
Yeah. He was just hopeless.
Yeah. I watched him. I watched the first game of the season. I was there against City. City just.
I don't know what Emery's given him, but he looks like a real top player now after having a real tough time since he's been at Arsenal. So yeah, I think you've got those two in particular for playing could cause us great difficulties. Yeah.
Remember when Anders Limpar came and scored a goal in '98, which helped Arsenal win the league at Old Trafford. That was about the March. That's one of the Arsenal games which sticks out. Can I have a prediction, please, for the game?
Was there a brawl?
No.
It was.
Was there a brawl that day? Was there?
Yeah.
You specialise in brawls between Manchester United and Arsenal. Were you involved in it?
I created one brawl.
I've only created one.
Isolated incidents. Can
I have a prediction, please, for the game at Old Trafford?
Old Trafford, Arsenal, Manchester United, 2-1 United, Rashford 2.
1-0 United, Sanchez. Thank you.
And I'll go for Lacazette.